I do think the Beast is a lot better versus the Phoenix Mars. That's for sure. Lycan suffers a lot more versus the Phoenix Mars, AoE control and attack speed and stuff like that. So his Beast can just like go into the fight, be more of a frontline force, and give you that extra BKB piercing stun that could be very nice versus just killing the Lion instantly, focusing down the Mars. I think the downside is I think the scaling is a little worse for me on paper, and it's definitely worse versus the Arc Ward. I think Lycan can be very good versus that hero. You can also just bite the jug late game, and like you end up with these two hasted heroes that, if as long as you don't get caught in arena or you buy BKB, you don't really care.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting trade-off. I'm sure they debated it, and Shopify and Rebellion were thinking about it too with their last two bans. So both these teams are on the same page. Just a question of who executes better here. The ball versus the toxicity. Geopaj will try to have as good a first 10 minutes as he can. It might determine a lot. And if Nouns can commit the ganks towards mid because the lanes are going better, that's going to be huge too.
Yeah. I think the scariest thing for this Viper is like a lot of times you're slow moving hero and you're a frontlining range hero. Positioning is pretty important both offensively and defensively. And when it comes to overextending as a Viper, I think it's really easy to do it in this game as soon as the supports get level 6, right? Because you're going to be kind of sitting there in the front, all of a sudden you get swapped in too deep, and then you get broken by the Hoodwink. And then there goes all your magic resistance, and all of a sudden you're actually a very squishy hero at that point.
I could see Lelos having very solid impact in these fights, because if you break and Mage Slayer this Viper, like it's like the hero just loses a third or half of his hero, you know, it's just gone. I mean, that is miserable. So I could see Hoodwink doing some decent work here. Again, it's just, can the lanes go well enough here for Nouns, because they could be pretty devastating here for Shopify. Upside is they did not get a ward dewarded, they did not lose 3 runes, and they didn't give away 2 kills. So like they're already on an even game, which is 1,000 gold better than last time.
That is very true. Though they almost gave up first blood. Lelis getting a bit low there in the bottom lane. We already had an early spin. I mean, this top lane is going to be pretty annoying. Lion, Mars. There's a lot of Mars and Centaur combinations that as an off-lane duo with any sort of support that's worth its weight, you have an opportunity for kills constantly.
All about who plays these early waves better. I mean, so far the lane that's struggling the most is this off lane for Nouns. Arteezy has forced Gunnar through a decent amount of regen. Lelis got beat up, and they are gonna find themselves at a little bit of a level disparity as Lelis gave Gunnar the solo XP just to try and keep up versus the early harass. But it's gonna be a pretty free lane for Arteezy as they find first blood on Saber. Huge pickup there.
Yeah, they needed that one real bad. This top lane has got to go well for Nouns because the other lanes are going to struggle so much.
I think Yuma should do okay here. Like, Venge is a very strong support in the trades. The mana drain over time could prove problematic, but its early first blood is a big boon, as Saberlight was just rushing the Bracer gauntlets here. So the fact they got through all that HP early is pretty big for Yuma in terms of momentum. Mid lane is, well, it's not going great for Storm, but it's not going awful, actually.
Yeah, it's not actually the worst.
As he's going to find double ranged here. Did not get that flag bearer, though. I'm a little sad about that one.
At least he got the experience for both the range creeps, which,
yeah,
I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? You just need the experience in order to get the hell out of this lane. Gunnar pushed back once again as this bottom lane continues to be quite the struggle. Do you know how the Flux works with the Hawk?
Another kill top. God damn. I mean, it should count as a unit.
Yeah, so is he just like constantly countered in some ways if he ever tries to flux the Beastmaster?
Probably. I assume it's within the radius, but the Hawk dives away from you, so.
Yeah, that's also true.
But yeah, summons are generally good versus hero. These should be fine conceptually, just as long as you can get through these early waves, man. It has been a regen battle. They're doing okay, honestly. Just a very tough lane. Double range lane for the Beast that started off wrong, as Gunnar is going to try and trade out here.
He's not going to be able to get the kill on Kitrak. At best, maybe Lelis comes in and finishes him off, and he does manage to do so. I don't think Kitrak minds too much. Ultimately, it's just RTZ free farming.
Not the worst outcome here. Like, you need to get the resources back on Gunner. You can't play this lane that low. You just get run down and abused. And doing his best to find the experience. Again, though, the downside is, like, you flex this Ember as they're going on Saberlight again. He's dead. Oh, the block!
Oh, beautiful branch, but it may not be enough. He gets away. He just picked up his boots, too. That was a big advantage that you had over him. Fly. Yeah,
he juked himself.
Yeah, he's now caught in a sandwich. He's not going to be able to get away. So it actually ends up worse is now this creep wave is pushing in while he's dead, and you can see Yuma is immediately pushing it in even faster. So that is a rough one for Saberlight.
Your juke is so good. You end up juking yourself back into death. Happens to the best of us. Stormer is gone.
Yeah, he made a little bit of a walkabout there, but eventually gets chased down. It's a full level behind Yopaj, a level and a half by the time he comes back.
I think it's a world where you go like a faster boots and try and pull waves, and you trade wave pulls. It can be sometimes hard to get around the Viper if he has vision and everything. I'm sure Stormer is aware of it, but this is as bad as it gets. And what I was gonna say is, again, is this trade-off worth this early Ember pick, right? Like, is sacking this Ember in 2 games worth the trade-off you're getting, which is in game 1 nothing, and in game 2 in theory,
bottom lane
Beastmaster
rotation. Once again, nouns are going to use the early fly rotation through the gate to offset some of these laning problems.
And they definitely need it, because you can't just sack the Beastmaster this game. You know your Ember is going to not exist, so you have to make sure Gunner can have some early game impact here. And this lane was not going well enough to guarantee that, so that is definitely going to help out. And it's a rotation Fly can make because top lane went so damn well for them. 3 early kills, 2 of them on the Mars. Just put Yuma in a fantastic position to play independent and scale pretty decently here. It'll be Mjolnir rush for him now. As he says, I can do that too.
I think when you give a Juggernaut a lane like this and then you're able to leave him solo, it just means he gets faster on the slash, which then also means your solo off lane has a harder and harder time being able to stick around. Lelis is going to be chased down by Kitrak. They'll trade out the kill as Fly with the amplified damage. We'll clean up, no problem. Mid lane going in onto Stormer while he is still not level 6 and he is still dead.
Level 5 to level 7 here, and he's getting ganked. Just brutal. It's a brutal lane for him, man. He is below his bench as Fly has had a better game. 2-0 and 3. Great start for the bench.
I will say, Stormer, I agree with what you're saying. I feel like a lot of other mid laners, I watched this matchup specifically earlier in one of these qualifiers, and it was like the Ember was cutting the wave. He would like play on the side. He would slight the wave to draw the aggro onto himself while he was far enough away from the Viper, and he would just run it down the side lanes. It feels like Stormer is trying to play this way too much like honorable in a way. He's not doing all the filthy things you can do as a mid laner.
It's one of those lanes you want Eternal Envy in, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like some weird double wave meets it like an Ancient. You're like, how the hell did it get there? But that's what you want to do. Just create some chaos. It's usually better for you.
Got him with the bushwhack in the bottom lane, but gets the dive out.
Too much honor.
Okay.
And once more, Fly making rotations here. They also got both XP runes. As Yuma's lane, so damn good, he played aggressive, got his own. So XP is going Now's way, but they're getting dragged into this mid lane, which is just not the hero you want to fight into right now. I do not think you want to interact with Yopaj. He is very high level. You don't really have the damage to burst him down. He went first item boots of travel, so he's presenting a threat on the other lanes as well right now. So we'll give some time for Stormer to catch up and miss another 50-50.
Okay, an armor rune, you're not touching this Viper. He's gonna get the kill, no problem, onto Lelis, who spiteful throws out a bushwhack on his last second of life.
Yeah, I just don't like Nouns going mid here. I don't think there's any way you can fight both supports and a clone behind Yopaj here. Your Ember just doesn't do anything to him, and it's just now you're giving away some extra kills potentially.
Yeah, he's gonna wand, but it is not enough. The last second of Sunray gets the kill. double supports will keep added here, pushing back against any heroes that show up, making sure they can get the tower or can get the punish. Stormstormer is actually having a TP away. Got a remnant out, but he can't even necessarily safely come back and protect his mid tower. Yopaj is going to put that armor rune to use.
Not a lot of places to go. I think the best place the noun supports can go is actually just keep killing this Mars. Because they did open him up early, but Saberlight's caught up by now. It's not as easy a target anymore, and the Arc Warden's very hard for them to interact with early. It's just difficult to gap close Arteezy unless you like smoke flank him or something.
It doesn't stop. Stormstormers had to use 3 remnants to get away from Shopify's 2 attempts at going at him. As Yopaj is just like, I'm not gonna let you farm anything, not even these.
Bringing Yuma here.
Coming in from Yuma, this is a weird one. If it doesn't land, you have pulled your carry out of a winning lane. It might catch up to Theolocor here, but it's certainly not worth Yuma's time that he invested.
Oh, this is just a chase you're not winning no matter how it ends. I mean, solid for Stormstormer as he wasn't doing anything else. But again, it's okay if your Ember is getting chased off lane in an abusive matchup, but you have to be winning the map somewhere else, right? You have to be pushing this Arc Warden out of lane and helping your Beast farm or getting kills with Yuma who had a good start. If none of that's happening and your Ember suffering, then you're in trouble. You're just gonna fall behind very quickly here as your tier 1 mid dies. Now Yopaj is free to invade this ancient stack that Gunnar wants. See how much of it he can get.
Gunnar, who is quite far behind any of the other cores, but maybe he could have caught up if he gets these stacks. And at the same time, Arteezy is going to press forward with the help of Kit Track. They're going to put pressure on this tower while taking these ancients. Shopify is just very efficiently dismantling nouns and everything they want to do to try and recover off of a bad laning phase.
And they're getting all these power runes that Yopaj just continues to abuse. Feels untouchable again as Stormstormer just... I mean, what is he supposed to do here? I guess you have Yuma farming, but it's another game where the Ember got sacked. Gunnar didn't have as good a game to make up for it. Who do you play around if your nouns right now? You got 2 XP runes and you're still kind of behind on XP.
Yeah, Leela's only just now getting his level 6. For me, I mean, that was a big thing, is get your supports to level 6. And it gets you some opportunities for these single target pickoff against some cores that are very farmed on the side of Shopify. You can actually maybe shut them down. They're only just now getting that.
And he also added another ancient stack for Gunnar that he's clearing through. A lot of stacks for him. So this will help his recovery. Working towards that Helm of the Dominator. But again, very slow early game here. For Nouns just kind of playing defensive. And it's given a lot of space to an Arc Warden with a very early Midas. Generally not a hero you thrive against when he has this free of a game.
Dive through. Layla's caught out in the mid lane here. Stormstormer going to try and help him by getting a kill on a Theolocor. The last Acorn is not enough. Theolocor is going to survive as Stormstormer's pressured away by that Viper every single time he tries to make a move. He starts going down to bottom lane for Arteezy.
Oh, they might catch him.
Maybe. It's going to be a long run. They're going to have to dive
so
into tower for this one. They're too far away on Fly. They're going to look at the support on Kit Trek perhaps, but they know Supernova's ready to go and the Viper is here, and that is death. If you cannot TP away, if you cannot outrun the Viper, then you are dead, and that's going to be the case for Fly. Everybody else runs or TPs out. And as a result of all of this, Saberlight is actually second in net worth. He was having the worst laning phase of Shopify Rebellion, and he now has a Blink Dagger at 13 minutes.
This is where the early game decision making, it really hurts you when you have these lineups with like a forced loss lane, because they have to be on point or you just get mega abused. And Nouns miss up a couple rotations and they got mega abused. Now they're behind 5k, all 3 cores for Shopify Rebellion online here, as Arteezy's clone continues to just force them back for bottom, man. Not even fighting the real hero, they're just fighting an illusion. It'll set up a 2-man arena.
Finally sees the opportunity to use that Blink Dagger. He wanted to get the kill on the Ember Spirit earlier. Instead, He says Lelis will have to suffice. Gets that one. Kitrak runs down Stormer at the same time. How did he die?
Got burnt out. Last Fire Spirit hit him on the way back to base.
Oh, man. I mean, if they start losing, if they lose this off-lane tower, combined with the mid tower that they lost so early, they start losing control of their ancients. There goes your early Helm of Dominator for the Beastmaster, you know? Or Helm of the Overlord, rather.
Like, what do you do with it, right?
Yeah.
It's a hero designed to push, not really get pushed in right now. Arteezy did go top, so some of that clone pressure got alleviated here, but not if you're getting killed by the Viper.
Nice spear back from Saberlight. Additional push back from the Wild Wing Ripper will help distance him, but the damage over time was too much. The Viper Strike puts him down. And meanwhile, like, you look at Nouns, they've got a two-man support smoke up. Where are they going to go with this one? They're going to try and hunt down Arteezy in the top lane.
They're going
to be diving between towers onto probably this ancient area.
If they were there a bit faster, they would have got the XP rune as well. It was still sitting there.
Yeah, the Spark Rate actually did go off, but Arteezy didn't notice, and he is going to be found. See if they can burst him down fast enough. Bushwhack lands, Fly follows it up, the Magic Missile still not enough, fast enough damage. The spear comes through with the arena, and Arteezy's going to stay alive. Disaster for Nouns.
That just feels like nothing you can do is going to go right in this game. Like, he shot that sharpshooter so fast.
Yeah, I don't know why he felt the need to rush that. That is the majority of their damage.
Maybe they felt like they would have the damage no matter what, but again, your Ember's so far behind, he doesn't have an item. That is a brutal turnaround. As Arteezy just makes them pay hard. That is like a 4K gold swing off that move.
Yeah.
Absolute disaster here in game 2 as Nouns are somehow finding themselves almost more behind than they were in game 1.
Stormer is certainly more behind than he was in game 1. As you said, they chose him to tank the bad matchup this time around, and he's not having a better go of it than Gunnar did in game 1. Nouns will try and trade off towers. They did, yeah.
They did it to themselves. They did it from first pick where they knew they weren't going to put this Ember in a good position.
Oh, the Viper's on the other side of things. They're going to get some, they actually do manage to stop the initiation of Saberlight, or rather he whiffs it. Misses the spear, but Yopaj is still stronger than anybody else in these fights. He'll go for Gunnar, the TP out, successful. He'll stay alive, but it's Yuma who is having the best game of Nouns so far, is the one left behind and killed.
Phoenix is so tanky so early, man. He has 1600 HP with Seeds of Serenity plus a Pavis plus a Crown. Kitrak just tanking up and having another ridiculous game here. 6-2 and 6 on the Phoenix. As they'll find another one.
He's got Magic Wand charges. Oh no. He popped it, went for the Magic Missile. Theolacor is faster than him on the draw.
He did do it.
Oh! He almost got himself killed there. Theolacor trying some fancy moves that were almost too fancy for him.
Still, it works out. 7-2 and 6 for Kitrak. Solar Crest done. Ooh, these are tough fights, man. Mjolnir done for Yuma. They at least get something off that roar.
Dude, when you're having damage problems, Solar Crest is so oppressive right now. Like when you lose lanes like this and you start having damage problems, and then all of a sudden you just add in an extra 400 HP on any hero you're trying to go on, there's no shot.
Oh, they'll just spear Stormer's corpse into a wall as the Kobold watches on. You enjoyed that?
The best thing Nouns got in a while was killing that ward. Immediately a fight breaks out though. Not looking the worst though. Yuma did a lot of damage to Saberlight. They swap him out though for fear he didn't have Omni Slash. That's why. And they can't even get him far enough away.
No turnaround potential without Omni up in this game. It's like 80% of their damage. And I mean, you got to remember, like, the whole time this disaster of an early game is happening, you have the double Midas Arc Warden with bots, Maelstrom on top of it, just going to work on the map. He is just cleaning house on these neutral camps right now.
So you can't
even
rat
join.
because Arc Warden probably out rats you inside lanes. You can't really go for pickoffs because the double boots of travel plus again any sort of like additional help like a Solar Crest will make a big difference in whatever single hero you're trying to go on. There
That's the
really
strength
aren't
of-
many options left for now.
That's why Boots of Travel is it's a very underrated item in the games that you're winning because it just shuts down enemy moves, right? Like because Yopaj is playing a cheese pick, because he wins mid, because Shopify rotate to him and he goes as early bots, it's way different than a game when you're behind because he can just sit and farm anywhere and any move that Nouns make, the Viper is instantly there and they can't really deal with it. He is 7-0, he's yet to die, he's yet to even come close to dying. It's oppressive. It's very oppressive on the map.
I like his build up too. Going for the Dragonlance, nice stat build up, but not completing the Hurricane Pike, which doesn't give you the best stats. Instead, goes for Veil, which gives him some additional armor. If he completes out Shiva's, then
Oh, it's
that
completed
is
already.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah. He is absolutely massive, and this is a problematic item. Because the one thing Noun's lineup does is it balls up and creates a significant boost to the physical damage output. I mean, that's pretty hard if you're playing into 20-minute Vlad Shivas, which both are already done here. Vlad's for the Mars, Shivas for the Viper, and the early Solar Crest for Kitrak. We'll find a quick pickoff. Extra farm for Yuma. That's a big kill.
Yeah, that's a lot, considering the streak he had going on. And, well, Stormer's got a different streak going on.
So we'll open up the smoke into the triangle here, and should be another pickoff for Nouns. As Shopify are just split on way too many parts of the map, but that is the power that Arc Warden gives you.
Oh, that was a little silly. I mean, the Kitrak pickoff, well, you know, that's fine. Healer Core also getting caught in that. Not the best.
I would not count Nouns out of this game. Like, it's rough, but their lineup is still very good in the five man. Like, sometimes these Venge lineups have deceptive comeback capability because the ores just start stacking and you get like 1 or 2 kills, suddenly the objectives fall incredibly fast and your lineup just comes online. Helm of the Overlord done for Gunner. You have this Mjolnir build-up for Yuma, who has some decent levels. Like, there is comeback potential here if Shopify get caught in the bad 5-on-5s because their lineup is not really taking Roshan or towers right now. It's not accelerating the objectives, and you can find some gold here. It's not impossible. Another smoke trying to get this Mars to catch Gunner, but he sniffs it out.
Seems to have a pretty good read, but he may not get far enough away. Oh, they are so close to spotting him. They're gonna spot him now. You see him, Gunner TPing away, but not fast enough. The Core instantly pounces with his own Blink Dagger here, and the smoke does succeed.
That was very close. Didn't get out. Is this enough to open up Roche for Shopify, or do they feel like it's just too slow anyway? I'm gonna chase the lizard down. 250 gold, why not? Just continue to scale, continue to farm, believe in the Arc Warden here. And the fact that Stormer is just in Struggleville.
Yeah, it is a question of like how much can Yuma do alone? Because like at least when it comes to damage output, right? Beastmaster's going to be there. I don't know how much damage he's actually going to be doing in these fights.
It's all to buff this jug, right? Like,
yeah.
You have the Inner Beast Aura, Venge Aura, Wave of Terror going through. You break somebody. It's all designed to buff up the damage this jug can do. So in theory, he can do a lot. This is a lineup that can put him into carry territory. You were just falling behind. That's the concern. I also
do Roshan
wonder
with ease.
The mentality here, like you're playing a BO5. If you want to just pull this game back for your own mentality's sake, you know. I feel like if you end after 2 games and Stormers are combined to like 2-20, I don't know where you go from there, you know.
Well, you certainly won't be going back to the Ember Spirit. That's one thing.
I think we both know that'll not be the case, but they're gonna find Yopaj.
Yopaj. Oh, that was a solo Omni Slash potentially.
Yeah, but he's still tanky.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he dies. You will not get many opportunities to find an isolated hero.
No. It's only going to get worse as these lanes are all pushed in from an Orc Warden. So it allows the rest of Shopify to be able to play very close to each other.
And he has his Mjolnir, so this is a very scary timing here. Double Mjolnir coming out. Just devastating in the fight where you can throw the charges around. You have to commit on somebody. Could just force the high ground too if you're Shopify. It's not out of the question. Yeah, Arteezy will poke it. He wants to bring heroes back at a minimum.
Now that there is an opportunity for nouns with swap and taking some sort of high ground to fight. They're gonna go smoke and see if they can get behind Shopify. Though you could see Yopaj and Saberlight are positioned back here, specifically trying to protect their support. Saberlight will actually jump into this.
Oh, the Lotus!
Oh, and he got off the Lotus Orb onto the Omni Slash. There goes a big part of Noun's toolkit, and they have to get out immediately. It's an Orchid on Stormstormer. That's going to be one, maybe. Fly is also stuck inside the arena. Can't help Stormstormer. Can't save himself. So that'll be 2 down on the side of Nouns with Shopify. Maybe ready to hit high ground again. Maybe hit tier 2. Whatever it is, the world's kind of their oyster right now.
Man, I don't know if Saberlight knew they were there. It almost looked like he didn't, but he blinks into them, and that is a Lotus reveal that is just straight game winning, right?
Yeah.
You die there, there's maybe an opening, but the second Omni's out of the fight. You are not killing anybody, and this should open up the high ground again, because you know Jug cannot fight anymore. Yeah, he's just diving straight in.
Oh, Orchid right before he can get off the Bramble Roar. Gunner put into a corner here. Oh, the shot goes out. Did it actually hit the Phoenix? I thought he was going to be low there, but Supernova goes off.
Not in time. How much damage is going to get done here?
I think they got the full lane. I think Nouns
probably
may just say this is farm time, boys. We can't do anything.
It's a rough position. Arc Warden does not make it any easier. A very oppressive map hero, even from a behind position.
They're taking a lane of barracks, but they're not going to let Yuma free farm too much. Ooh, got spotted by the creeps. He was hoping to be able to get a Blink Hex opening.
Yeah, that does. These types of moves do create openings to jump, but it's just like jump who. It's getting to a point like last game where there's just no easy targets for your lineup that's kind of oriented around the burst. Like you're 5-man strong, but you also have to just be able to take a target down one at a time. And this Phoenix has proved problematic.
Yeah, he has. Imp damage and a Blink Dagger soon on its way for Yopaj. So they'll let RTZ go to work, take that lane of barracks. Nouns will kind of go back to the same plan they had before, which was, okay, let's try and push out those other lanes, get this next round of items, hopefully before they push a second lane. If they can get there, that would be Scotty for Yuma, which, you know, pretty significant against these range heroes. That slow is pretty potent, obviously. And Shiva's for Stormstormer, which would amp up their magic damage, though then questioning whether or not they have enough magic damage to kill anybody in the first place.
You just got to get something. I don't even care what the items are, but you just got to get some item. Get some more neutral items as well. And yeah, that kill duo between Theolacore and Yopaj is still hunting for these cores. They know they're getting ratted right now.
And Yuma, oddly enough, was almost in a position that they maybe could have taken some sort of 2-on-2, but Stormer gets caught. He's going to Yules. Oh, slight dodge on the finger, and he still has the Yules to deal with some of the damage. The problem is going to be if Theolacore gets another round of disables off. He's got Blink up in 2 seconds, and Stormer's out of mana. And that'll be it for him, unless the healing... No, there's too many slows, surely. Stormer gets out of the way. The healing ward keeping him alive, but again, he has no mana. Spotted eventually. Sunray's going to give him the vision. Surely they'll get this kill. And Gunner, actually, what happened
Yuma
to him?
going in. Yuma going out. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Gunner just got arena speared down here, trying to rat the map. Again, it's very difficult to rat when this clone can control so much space and you have so many boots of travel heroes online.
And the clone also with the Bloodthorn.
Yeah,
You don't have
Artor's
any
stacked.
BKBs. Yeah.
Absolutely stacked. Manta done level 20, Bloodthorn Mjolnir, plus a Nemesis Curse, which is just a crazy amount of damage amp when you have all this amp already, and I mean, you're not at threat of dying.
No.
Trying to close out here. Artor says he does not need another Aegis to go high ground. I believe him.
And, I mean, Manta, what do you swap into? There's so many units here, and Omnislash can't actually focus down its target even if you do get a Manta swap or a swap onto the right hero. There's also the Lotus to be concerned of, the Bloodthorn to stop you in the first place, both of which was in place to counterfly as he tries to step forward. Bayless, shot across the bow, hits the Arc Warden, but won't be able to get away from Yopaj unless Yules actually throws him up in the air. Maybe that's good enough.
I actually think Artor dies there if they can get the swap off, but he's just perma silencing Fly on the run-in. I don't know, maybe if you Glimmer Cape this Venge in, he can swap the Arc Warden. You have to get cheeky here, make something happen.
Oh, got
they
him up
caught
ahead,
Yuma.
spear back. Oh, the swap away. Can they get Yuma to safety?
Another
Lotus.
Lotus.
Another Lotus Orb. Omni Slash. So the Mars is destroying Nouns with his own Omni Slash. He'll get a jump away on a Stormer, but it's Yuma who was everything for Nouns. And with him being dead for 60 seconds, it is another lane of barracks. It is a tier 4s even for Shopify. They know they've got this game in the bag, and it could be just the series' momentum full on for Shopify. A 2-0 potentially if they could just break them in this final fight. Another shot from the Hoodwink. Doesn't really do much to that Lion. Spear onto Stormer. Control very easily with the disables. And again, no damage, no threat. Shopify just keep pushing forward. A swap back, but they don't have additional repositioning tool. They're going to buy back onto the Ember Spirit, but they're going to fight them into their fountain. That's how unafraid they are, with the magnetic field protecting them from the fury of the fountain. They'll easily clean up the entirety of Nouns. 2-0 up in a best of 5. 2 very dominant games for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, that's it's a rough position to come back from. We've seen some reverse sweeps. We saw one